Maha, thank you so much for coming to BizTalk. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me today.
My pleasure. Thank you for your time. So before talking about your venture, let's give an introduction to yourself.
Sure. Um, my name is Dr. Maha Golestaneh. I'm a career entrepreneur, a techie, a researcher, and a multi-content author. I only like doing meaningful things, and I like to do them with hyperdrive.
Thank you so much. So let's start talking about your business.
Sure. I founded GILO because I'm obsessed with productivity, and I want to make a mega impact, especially among young professionals from emerging markets. Why do I care? AI is completely transforming the world, and I worry those with less access to meaningful information and solutions to create those meaningful solutions information can be left behind. Our startup, GILO Technologies, wants to bring peace of mind to the knowledge worker, the researcher, and graduate student who must perform relentlessly under pressure and make well-informed decisions in an increasingly complex and uncertain world. GILO is not a proofreader. What does GILO stand for? GILO stands for garbage in, logic out. So you might think, oh my gosh, my content is garbage. Not at all. It's just that a lot of content in a research or a heavy complex industry or a technical world really must be curated. It must be also very delicately credible. So why we say we're different from the others is that we are really about operating in a different space where we provide you logical fallacy detection. We look at your logical structure and basically restructure your content. We are able to look at plagiarized content from AI. We correct your numerical anomalies. We give you definitions for building your evidence and your logic. We give you definitions from credible authors. We give you citations and quotes from these various authors. So we've kind of sourced all the credible sources, in not only in academia, but in business and tech. We create abstracts, so we can summarize your text. We can give you visual models of what your text is about. When you're a reader and a writer, you can actually do both. So it's not about just looking at the logic from a writer perspective, from a reader. What if you detect bullshit? Yeah, our tool can help you do that. And as a reader, you want to be informed. We also help you with productivity, where auto-suggestion of key terms. And we help you with basically searching through our whole entire database. Let me show you what a screenshot of how the user interface looks. So basically, we are able to come here, look at your, you're here, you are in different modes. You can figure out what kinds of definitions, citations that you want. You can get access to that. You can, like I said, look at your logical structure, your logical fallacious arguments. That means manipulative arguments. We can generate text for you, and we can look at the analytics and much more. You can be on a review and revision mode for this. Let's, for example, see logical fallacies. We have a text here. We were able to identify whether a person wrote a fallacious argument in a financial document. We can then tell you, based on 50 types of fallacies, whether you've written a logical fallacy. We can give you an example, for example, unsubstantiated certainty on the sidebar, then we can correct it. And then from there, we can give you a explanation of what is alleged certainty. Why do I care? Why does this matter to me? So it does this across the board with other kinds of issues. So we detect it, we correct it, we give you explanations, and we give you examples of why. This is for the correction side of our recommendation engine, but on our evidence-based side, we give you definitions and citations and so forth, and you can even download those. The benefits are numerous. If you look at it, we really, again, want to focus on persuading your audience with logic. We want to help you become kind of a subject matter expert in various fields. So our disciplines are, we help you with your vocabulary across these fields. We are able to give you source material exactly in your field because we know exactly what you're writing about. We can enhance your readership and readability of your content so you look like you have a higher English proficiency. We help you also overcome things like analysis by paralysis, or when you're facing a blank screen, we help you kind of just overcome it and write faster and meet your deadlines. We help you not just go to one source. A lot of people end up going, when they have to write very content-based work that's very difficult and meaningful to them, they have to go use a dictionary, they have to use online dictionary, they have to use a content generator, they have to use a grammar tool. We just say, come to us, one-stop shop. Our target, our opportunity is huge. Why? Because, like I said, we are looking to help all markets to read and be able to write very meaningful content and to do it a lot faster. So our global native and non-native English speakers, at a conservative estimate of paid subscribers, we can make up to 283 million euros. At a very optimistic estimate, assuming that we grab everyone, it's 1.5 billion. Our team, well, we were founded in 2020, and our team is very tech-centric, but we're also entrepreneurs. And we are all writers as well. So Bill Iman is our board advisor. He actually invented the text disambiguation. So he was the forerunner of NLP, NLU, which is natural language processing and understanding. So he really understands this field. He guided us along the way and helped us build some tricks that are beyond just AI. Our co-founder, Erwin Loopers, he is a NLP specialist and AI engineer. He is also a multi-content author. Fabian is a full stack developer. He's had his own startups and he's a career entrepreneur. He has his own software company. We have software engineers, we have investors, but our team is small enough that we believe if you know what you're doing, you can do it a lot faster than hiring out. So what we're trying to do with our, now we're in terms of traction and milestones, we're ready, technology readiness level of 5. We launched our demo last month, and we're in the process of copyright protecting our source code and our processes in the EU and the US. We collected 5,000 people on our waiting list, and it keeps growing. And we are conducting 12 pilot studies across Europe and Africa in 2023, starting February. And we're also negotiating with Deloitte to become our first corporate client. We joined an accelerator in the summer in Italy with a Finnish accelerator called Xedu. And we attended various conferences where we are constantly increasing our ecosystem. We've raised just last month 30,000, which is not speaking for much, but you know, growth is growth. And we're pitching to angel networks and VCs to scale our business. And I want to thank you, Max, for having me on today. I really appreciate you giving us this opportunity. Thank you. Let GILO fix your logic, invest in GILO.
Thank you very much. Let me ask you, how do you monetize your business?
So yeah, I didn't show you those slides. Right now, like I said, we're at the freemium pilot phase. So we're just testing our different target audiences and see we're testing for viability to see if our options work with the annual and monthly access to subscription. And we also want to sell to universities package bulk rates and businesses. We also intend to, as a lot of people are interested in having our system as a knowledge management tool, so that they could actually use us as a service. They could put their data into our system because we can help the writer write tremendously faster and more kind of meaningfully. So we are testing to see if our monthly of a pro user 10, depending on if it's an annual 10 euros a month would work, as opposed to 20, which would be just for monthly. We're looking at premium, which would be 20 a month. Great, because it has a lot more to offer. It's more kind of like even more hyperdrive and more complex scripts that we've built around for the user, and would be 40 if it's month to month, and 40 for kind of the more advanced user. And we're looking at teams, and we're looking at businesses that really need their data to be integrated into our solution.
What exactly is behind your technology? I mean, writers, they do not only need correcting grammar, they need a lot.
No, we're not about, like I said, we are not about grammar. That's not a space we care about. That's not our job.
Where do you see the biggest problem for writers? Where you can give them the best of help?
So the biggest problem is that they're incapable of structuring their content. So like often people, focus on the words. We focus on not just the words, but the structure of your work. So let's say you're a research writer in finance, okay? And you are from an emerging market and you really want to write well, but, I'm not saying critical thinking is not your gift, but let's say you want some help with that. In our solution, we can kind of figure out what you've written and say, okay, this has got to be, we move it up. We say, this has got to be, it's about abstract. This should be moved to your abstract. This should be moved to your methodology section. And so we kind of like reshuffle your sentences and your content around. So it's like logically coherent. And there's a sequence in your logic. And we detect, like I said, you're manipulative if you're writing very emotionally, or if you're writing kind of like attacking another author, or you tend to write very kind of what we call circular logic. You never get to your point in a couple of sentences, and we can detect those things. And that's the uniqueness of our solution. And of course, we give you content to make it stronger, and we generate content for you. We generate content using the new solutions, but very advanced levels. It's not just about using the existing APIs, because we build a lot of our tech ourselves and the AI, but we take what exists or what doesn't exist, and we make it, refined it for every field. So we know exactly what you're writing about. We don't just say we help a medical doctor. We talk about a medical doctor in neuroscience.
Let me ask you, if I'm writing, it's extremely important, the language in terms of the industry I'm writing to, and the people I'm reading what I'm writing, the content I'm writing. It also extremely important the language I'm using, Italian, English, Spanish.
Yeah, we only work with English.
So in your case, you only work with English. And what about the industry? How do you make sure that I might communicate it to the fintech world, for example, not as I would like to communicate, or as I'm talking to the healthcare world, for example.
So what we have is what we call a document classifier. We have sentence classifiers as well, but at a document level, we know what you're writing about. We know you're writing an academic piece. You don't have to tell us you are. We know, because we've basically, it's all tech. We know based on what we call named entity recognition, we can recognize what your words are in what way they've been written and the complexity of it and the field you're writing. We've built taxonomies. So we know exactly based on academia you're writing, or you're writing in a business field, or you're writing about a blog. Yeah. So we've kind of, it's like a very kind of, we've drilled it down using our technology because our board advisor is so good at this. And other technologists, you know, they know this, but it takes a lot of kind of like creativity to do this. And sometimes when you're a startupper, you're much more creative than a potentially a software developer. You know, so we kind of like obsess about this. We know as writers in our team, we know how people write differently and how to write, or help you kind of know how to communicate it better based on your content.
What about the funding round now? How much are you raising now?
Well, it's a big raise. It's 1 million euro. And you're thinking, wow, that's a lot. No, our competition, literally Jasper AI, which all they do is text generation and video generation, they got 90 million euros this year, 90 million. And they don't even like, they only use what we call GPT-3. We do way beyond that. So it's like 90 million. Grammarly got 900 million. They're not even a direct competitor. Remember, we don't do grammar. We could, but we don't want to. And we've actually shelved all our grammar tools away because we don't want to compete in that space. So they raised 900 million, 900. So 1 million is not asking for too much. This space is big. And there are more and more people from emerging markets and young people who need this desperately.
Absolutely. How are we going to use this money? What's going to be the use of this 1 million?
Sure. We split it. For now, we want a 2-year runaway. So that's not even actually that much for 2-year runaway. Our tech team, if you think about technical people, they get paid a lot, but you know, it's our company, so we don't want to be paid like enormous amounts. We understand that. So the money is basically split between tech and sales and marketing, because we think marketing, my background is marketing, we think it's very important. It like as much as like you have to have a great solution. If you have a great product, it sells itself, it flies off the shelf. But you know, to really gain traction, to gain that kind of like momentum, you don't just need a good product. There's a lot of people out there that want to compete with you, even if they call themselves grammar guys. They're going to compete with you. So you need to get out of that space and you need to go on people's eyeballs. So you need to have a really good campaign and a growth hacking campaign. So that's where the marketing, sales, and growth hacking will be the split half. It's to doll up all our landing pages, which we've created, to potentially get a sales guy on board, 1 or 2, and then our tech team to just really create the innovative solutions and better and proof of concepts that we want to do.
Let me close with the vision. You're an entrepreneur. What's your vision? What is behind your startup? Where do you want to go?
Our long-term vision is kind of like, it's obvious. We want to go, right now, our vision is to help with content, meaningful content. But what do I mean? We don't want to just be in written communication. We want to go to oral. So we're thinking to help people communicate quickly when they speak to one another. Yeah, we love to speak, but productivity is all about speed and about communicating so the other person can make really good decisions. And so we're thinking, and this is like definitely in the pipeline of moving our product to text-to-speech. So what we would do is have someone else hear what I have to say. It would be reshuffled, my content very well, and the other person hears it. Imagine the industries of defense industry. Imagine the industries of like high-end public speakers. Imagine anyone that has to do with very hot topic subjects in media. If we could help them do it better and communicate at a higher level, at an oral level, why not? That's amazing. So.
Maha, thank you so much for coming to BizTalk. I really wish you all the best, and I hope in Equity Match we can help to raise this 4 million.
Thank you. Thank you very much.